Good morning students, welcome to chemistry laboratory. I am Dr. Chandrasekhar N. Today I am going to explain the estimation of percentage of iron in hematite ore solution using standard potassium dichromate solution. The requirements for this experiments are hematite ore solution, standard K2Cl2O7 solution, SnCl2 stannous chloride, Hg2Cl2 mercurous chloride, potassium ferricyanide K3FeCl6 which is the indicator, burette, pipette, conical flask and volumetric flask. Hematite is the ore of iron with the formula Fe2O3. So Fe2O3, iron is present in the form of Fe3+, that is ferric ions. When we add SnCl2 to a solution of hematite, the ferric ions are reduced to ferrous ions. So here addition of electron, ferrous ions are converted into ferrous ions. We are adding SnCl2 as a reducing agent in the hot condition by adding concentrated HCl. The reaction is carried out in the hot condition by adding concentrated HCl. Later, when we add indicator which contains Fe3+ ions, Fe3+ ions of the indicator react with Fe2+ ions of the solution, forming a colored complex which is called as ferrazo-ferricyanide indicator complex, which is deep blue in color. When we titrate the solution against potassium dichromate, the ferrous ions of the hematite ore solution now are oxidized into ferric ions. When all the ferrous ions are converted into ferric ions, the indicator will not give blue color, that is, there is no change in the indicator's color because of same ions present in the solution, Fe3+ ions, and same ions present in the indicator, that is Fe3+ ions, hence which will not give any color, that indicates end point of the reaction. Let us see how to prepare standard potassium dichromate solution and how to estimate the percentage of iron in the given hematite ore solution. So now let us prepare the standard potassium dichromate solution. For that we need 250 cm3 volumetric flask and a funnel is required, and we need potassium dichromate crystals. So these are the potassium dichromate crystals. I will take the weight of weighing bottle and the weight of potassium dichromate crystals. It is showing now, you can see 4.092 grams. So I will transfer these crystals into the funnel. Again, I will take the weight of empty weighing bottle. Initially 4.092 grams weight of potassium dichromate crystals and the weighing bottle. Now the weight of empty weighing bottle is 2.78 2.785 grams. If I deduct the weight from M1 minus M2, I will get the weight of potassium dichromate crystals transferred to this volumetric flask. Now let us dissolve this potassium dichromate crystals in water. It is a water soluble crystals. So rinse thoroughly such that all the crystals must dissolve in distilled water. Remove the funnel, add little more water and swirl gently to dissolve the crystals.
Start.
So now all the crystals are dissolved in water. Now let us make it up to the mark by adding distilled water. Add distilled water nearer to the mark. When you reach nearer to the mark, add water by taking few drops from the pillar and drop by drop, so that you can add accurately and you can make it up exactly up to the mark. So once after adding water up to the mark, now place a stopper and mix the solution gently. So now we have standard potassium dichromate solution, we have hematite ore solution, we have concentrated hydrochloric acid solution, we have stannous chloride solution, we have Hg2Cl2 solution, mercurous chloride solution, and this is the indicator K3FeCN6, potassium ferricyanide, and this is the burette. We have to transfer this standard potassium dichromate solution into the burette. So I'll transfer the solution to burette. Use the funnel. So first rinse the solution. After rinsing the solution, thoroughly, then fill the solution up to 0 in the burette. So now it is 50 cm cube burette. The solution we have taken up to 50 cm cube and initial point is 0. Now we have to fix this burette to the burette stand. So this is standard potassium dichromate solution is ready for titration. Now let us pipette out 25 cm cube of hematite ore solution into the conical flask. So to this conical flask we have to pipette out 25 cm cube of hematite ore solution. So I will pipette 25 cm cube of hematite ore solution into the conical flask. Use the pipette. When the solution reaches the upper mark, hold tightly, airtight, and transfer the solution to conical flask. So now we are transferring 25 cm cube of hematite ore solution into the conical flask. This is the first step. So remove the last drops of the hematite ore solution by gently tapping to the bottom of the conical flask, right? So this is the first step. The second step, we have to add around 5 cm cube of concentrated HCl, which is required for the reduction. I'll add half a pillar of concentrated HCl, which is around 5 cm cube, into hematite ore solution. Now we have to heat gently over the hot plate. So I am heating directly on the hot plate. So how long you have to heat? Just when it starts giving 1 or 2 bubbles, when it starts boiling, you have to stop it. So that is just around 60 to 70 degrees Celsius is enough for the reduction reaction to carry out. So let us heat the solution over the hot plate. Yes, now you see it is started boiling. Remove the solution. Okay, so this is about around started boiling. This much hot condition is sufficient for reduction reaction to carry out. First we have to carry out the reduction reaction in the hot condition by adding stannous chloride. So this is the stannous chloride solution we have to add in the hot condition. So add drop by drop. So drop by drop SnCl2. How long you have to add? Till the reduction of Fe3 plus ions into Fe2 plus ions takes place. which indicates change in the color and the solution becomes colorless. Add 1 or 2 drops extra to ensure complete reduction. Now, all the ferric ions of the hematite ore solution are converted into ferrous ions. Now, iron is present in the form of Fe2 plus ions. Now, the solution is hot. You have to cool the solution under tap water. So, let us cool the solution under tap water. All the ferric ions are converted into ferrous ions. The excess stannous chloride we have to remove by adding half test tube of Hg2Cl2. Mercury chloride we have to add half a test tube to remove the excess stannous chloride which is added into the solution. So added half test tube of Hg2Cl2 solution. Now we have to titrate against potassium dichromate solution. Initially, I will add 1 cm cube of potassium dichromate solution. The 1 cm cube of potassium dichromate solution oxidizes ferrous ions into ferric ions. So, I have added 1 cm cube of potassium dichromate. So, let us see some of the ferrous ions are oxidized into ferric ions. You have to check the completion of the reaction by using external indicator. So, that is K3FeCN6. We have to place few drops of K3FeCN6 indicator on the wax paper. So, these are the indicator drops. You have to use wax paper for keeping the indicator drops. Yes, these are the potassium ferricyanide indicator drops. Now, by using a glass rod, I will take a drop of reaction mixture and I will bring in contact with the indicator drop. You can see it is producing a deep blue color which is known as Turnbull's blue color. That means still there are ferrous ions to undergo oxidation into ferric ions, means the reaction is incomplete. Because of the presence of ferrous ions, it is reacting with ferric ions of the indicator and which is giving blue color. So, you have to continue the titration. How long you have to continue the titration? Till the indicator drop fails to give this blue color with the reaction mixture. That is the end point. Now, I will add another 1 ml. I will wash this glass rod with good water. Okay. So, now I will add another 1 cm cube of potassium dichromate. So, likewise, you have to check the completion of the reaction. Shake it well. After shaking it well, take a drop of reaction mixture and bring in contact with the indicator drop. You can see it is producing blue color, means the reaction is incomplete. Wash the glass rod and keep it in distilled water. Like this, let us continue the titration by adding every 1 cm cube of potassium dichromate and we will check the end point of the reaction for every 1 ml. And how long we have to continue the titration? Till the reaction drop fails to give blue color with the indicator drop. That is the end point of the titration. See, now we have added 12 ml and the color of the indicator is becoming little light in blue color. So, we are reaching the end point. Now, we have to check for adding 0.1 ml. I will add 12.1 ml and 12.2. So, every 0.1 ml we have to check. So, this is the 12.1 ml. So, wash the glass rod, add another 0.1 ml. So, shake the solution and bring in contact with the indicator drop. You can see the indicator drop is not showing any color with the test drop. This is the end point. So, end point of the reaction is 12.2 ml. So, I will write down in the tabular column initial burette reading is 00, final burette reading is 12.2 ml of potassium dichromate. Volume of potassium dichromate consumed is 12.2 ml. So from this we can calculate the percentage of hematite ore sample, so much percentage. So this is the calculation part for calculating the percentage of iron in the hematite ore sample, and this is the procedure for carrying out this experiment. So thank you very much.